Mahabharata, Chapter 27, Sanjaya's Mission. Read by Nirvan Bajaj and Ekveer Bajaj. Mahabharata, Chapter 27, Sanjaya's Mission. Vaishnapayan then continued, O monarch, the wedding celebrations of Abhimanyu and Uttara having ended amidst great rejoicing, the illustrious descendants of the Kuru race assembled at the court of King Virat. The assembly, among others, consisted of the 5 great Pandavas. Virat and Draupadi occupied seats of honor. The revered Krishna and Balram came along with their father, and the sons of Draupadi and Satyaki came too. First, Krishna addressed the assembly. You are all aware of how Shakuni deceitfully defeated Yudhishthir in the game of dice, and as a result, Yudhishthir also lost his kingdom. The valorous Pandavas have completed their 13th year in exile. Now to them should be restored what is rightfully theirs. If the sons of Dhritarashtra fail to keep their promise, the Pandavas will destroy them. I suggest we send a wise and virtuous man as our ambassador to persuade Duryodhana to give half the kingdom to Yudhishthir. Balram then spoke. The generous Pandavas are willing to give half the kingdom to the Kauravas. That should make Duryodhana happy. So let some emissary go to him and convey Yudhishthir's decision. But Duryodhana should not be provoked. After all, Yudhishthir is also to blame. He agreed to play the game of dice in spite of being dissuaded by all his friends. Let our ambassador speak with humility and a conciliatory tone. What is gained by diplomacy is seldom gained by war. Balram's words irked Satyaki.
How can you blame the virtuous Yudhishthir? We know he was cheated at dice, and now that they have completed their period of exile, the Kauravas should give them what is due to them by right. And if they do not, we must bring destruction upon them.
Draupadi then spoke. Duryodhana will never willingly give up the kingdom. If we go to him as friends, the fool will think we are all afraid. Let us prepare for war. Send messengers to all our allies requesting them for help. Meanwhile, I will also make efforts for a peaceful understanding. I will send my learned priest to Dhritarashtra for the purpose. But Krishna intervened. Draupadi, you speak in favor of the Pandavas, but the Kauravas and the Pandavas are equally dear to me. We were invited here for a wedding ceremony. The celebrations are over, so now we will leave. You find out the intentions of the Kauravas. If they refuse to make peace, then call on our allies and summon us. And so Krishna and his followers returned to Dwarka. Messages were sent to the allies of the Pandavas. When Duryodhana heard that the Pandavas were thinking of war, he too decided to get ready his army. Draupadi summoned his priest. You are learned and know on whose side is go to Dhritarashtra, and try to convince him of Duryodhana's folly. And so, on reaching Hastinapur, Draupadi's priest approached the Kaurav elders. Greetings, O revered sirs! O illustrious men! Both Dhritarashtra and Pandu being sons of the same father, their property should be equally divided among their sons. Again and again, the Dhritarashtra's sons have tried to get rid of the Pandavas and keep the whole kingdom to themselves. But they have been repeatedly unsuccessful. The Pandavas now demand their rightful share, but they hate to go to war with their kin. However, if they are denied their right and the Kauravas are in the mood to fight, Yudhishthir is prepared to take up the challenge. Satyaki, Bhima, Arjuna and Krishna make up an invincible team. Do not let go of this stance of making peace with the Pandavas, otherwise the Kauravas will be destroyed. Bhishma interposed. You speak the truth, O Brahman, but you use harsh words. Karna spoke up. O Brahman, what is this sense What is the sense in repeating the same thing over and over again? Yudhishthira lost his Shakuni and had to go into exile. The Pandavas have completed their stipulated periods of staying in the forest. They may now live as dependents on Duryodhana. Virtuous Duryodhana will never yield even a single piece of land out of fear. But to meet the demands of justice, he would give away the whole earth to his enemy. Bhishma cautioned, Karna, you have seen Arjun's progress in battle. If we do not make peace, we will all be slain. Dhritarashtra finally said,
Bhishma is right. For the good of the whole world, there should be no war.
Turning to the Brahman, Dhritarashtra said,
O Brahman, you may return to Upalavya after holding deliberations among ourselves. I will send Sanjaya to convey our decision.
Soon afterwards, the Brahman left for Upalavya. Meanwhile, Arjun set out for Dwarka to seek Krishna's help. On hearing of this, Duryodhana too sped towards Dwarka. The two reached Krishna's chamber, who was sleeping. Both of them waited for Krishna to wake up. Arjun stood near Krishna's feet, while Duryodhana stood near Krishna's face. Shortly, Krishna woke up and said, "O Arjun, what are you doing here?" Before Arjun could reply, Duryodhana said, "O Krishna, I came here before Arjun, so you must listen to me first. I need your help in the impending war." Krishna said, "You may have come first, but I saw Arjun first. I shall be fair and help you both. However, as Arjun is younger, let him speak first. Arjun, you may either take my vast army which rivals me in might, or you may have me by your side, but I will not take part in the fighting." Arjun said, "O Krishna, I would rather have you on my side." Duryodhana said gleefully, "Give me your mighty army, Krishna." Krishna said, "So be it." After Duryodhana had left, Krishna asked Arjun, "Why did you choose me when you knew I would not fight?" Arjun said, "I can destroy the enemy single-handed, but I have always aspired to have you as my charioteer." Krishna said, "Your wish will be granted. I shall be your charioteer." Then, O monarch, Arjun and Krishna set off to join Yudhishthira. Meanwhile, Duryodhana met Balram in Dwarka. He said to him, "I am lucky to have got the entire army." But Balram said, "Duryodhana, for your sake I opposed Krishna at Virat's court, but he did not like my views. I cannot act against the wishes of Krishna. If he has decided not to take part in the fighting, neither will I." Soon afterwards, Duryodhana left for Hastinapur. Meanwhile, at the court of Dhritarashtra was very unhappy. He said to Sanjaya,
Sanjaya, I want you to go to the Pandavas, inquire after their well-being. Tell them that we are happy to know they have completed their period of exile. Sanjaya, I have never found a trace of falsehood in the Pandavas. Nobody can think of them with hatred except this vile and dull-headed Duryodhana and a mean-minded Karna. It is childish of Duryodhana to think that he can rob the Pandavas on their rightful share of the kingdom while they are alive. It would be far wiser to give them what is justly theirs before being threatened by war.
Arjun, by using the Gandiva alone, can destroy the whole world. Bhima, that ace wielder of the mace, can single-handedly destroy the Kaurava army. The twins Nakul and Sahadev, trained by Arjun, will swoop upon the enemy like hawks of flock of birds. With Krishna on their side, I shudder to think what the outcome of such a war will be. We do have a full-fledged army, but it is no might for the mighty Pandavas alone. So, Sanjaya, hasten to the Pandav camp. Speak to Yudhishthira affectionately. You will also meet Krishna. Tell him Dhritarashtra is desirous of making peace with the Pandavas. Yudhishthira never disregards Krishna's advice. Soon, O monarch, Sanjaya let out on his peace mission. Meanwhile, at Hastinapur,
O king, Shalya is marching with a large army to join the Pandavas at Upalavya.
Duryodhana immediately called his minister and said, "Spare no effort to please Shalya. Have him escorted to our most beautiful palaces on his way. Shower all hospitality on him." And so Shalya arrived at one such magnificent mansion built by Duryodhana. Mistaking the palace to be Yudhishthir's, Shalya came in. He wondered in his mind, "What a beautiful palace! How hospitable Yudhishthir is! How captivating are these gardens with the fountains merrily playing! Truly they rival even the great Indra's abode." While he rested, he thought to himself, "What divine music! It fills my heart with peace. I must reward the men of Yudhishthir who have made my stay so memorable." Later, he told, "Let the ones who have showered such hospitality on me come forward. I wish to reward them and please Yudhishthir." Exactly at the moment, Duryodhana barged in and said, "Greetings, O king." Shalya replied, "O Duryodhana, so you are my host. I am pleased with your hospitality. Ask me for anything you want." Duryodhana said, "Sir, I wish that you would lead my army." Shalya replied, "So be it. Now go back to Hastinapur. I will pay a visit to Yudhishthir and then return to your capital." Duryodhana said, "O king, remember your promise. Return soon, for I rely on you greatly." Shalya then continued on his journey. He was given a warm welcome at Upalavya. Yudhishthir said, "We're honored to receive you, O king." Later he told Yudhishthir, "Yudhishthir, I am happy that the misery you suffered in your exile is over. Now you can vanquish your enemies and attain happiness." Then, O monarch, Shalya told Yudhishthir about the promise he had made to Duryodhana. Whereupon Yudhishthir said, "O king, no doubt you will fulfill your promise, but you must do me a favor. Undoubtedly you will be Karna's charioteer when he meets Arjun in single combat. On that occasion, you must protect Arjun. You must persistently dishearten Karna by recounting Arjun's exploits. Thus Arjun will gain the upper hand and victory will be yours." Shalya replied, "I will do as you instruct and will always keep your welfare in mind. You have suffered greatly, but in the end, joy will be yours." Then Shalya left with his army for Duryodhana's camp. And then the troops came marching into Upalavya from all directions. Satyaki, the great hero, came with his army. The forces of the chief of the Chetais, the king of Maghal, and those of Virat too swelled into the Pandav ranks. The numbers in the Kaurav camp too were swelling. To Hastinapur came the many great armies. From Kamboja, from Madra, from Kekaya, from Sindhu, from Ayanti, from Kirat. Meanwhile at Upalavya, Dhritarashtra's ambassador Sanjaya was given a warm welcome by Yudhishthira. Later he informed them about Yudhishthira's message. "King Dhritarashtra has inquired after your welfare and that of your brothers and Draupadi. We are all very well. It is a long time since we received news of our elders. How are they all?" After some time, Sanjaya came to the point. "O Yudhishthira, nobody can foretell the future. You are noble and virtuous, yet you have to suffer greatly. But now if you wish, you are capable of establishing peace. Dhritarashtra is keen that there is peace. I hope that his proposal appeals to you and that matters are settled amicably. O Yudhishthira, whoever is winner in this war will find that he gained nothing. If you slay the Kauravas, you will never know peace of mind. For who can live in peace after killing his relatives? Krishna and Draupadi are also here. I implore you all to seek a peaceful alternative to bloodshed." Yudhishthir said, "O Sanjaya, I am always in favor of peace. We no doubt desire happiness, but our conduct has always been righteousness. You know the misery we have suffered at the hands of the Kauravas. I am prepared to forgive them for it and seek peace. But Duryodhana should return Indraprastha immediately to me. Sanjaya said, "But O Yudhishthir, if the Kauravas don't give you your rightful share of the kingdom, I think you should forfeit it. Rather than go to war, it is far more honorable for you to live upon the arms of the Andhakas and the Vrishnis. Thirsting after wealth is like fetters in this world, and the virtue of those who seek it is sure to suffer. Rather than commit the sin of waging war, I would advise you to continue staying in the forest, as that would be far more virtuous. Those who are your allies today have always been on your side. Why then did you not humble Duryodhana earlier? Why do you wish to fight now? You are so noble and generous of heart. Why then do you want this unreasonable war? O Yudhishthir, control your anger, for anger is the root of all evil. What happiness do you hope to achieve by killing all your kin? If your counselors are recommending war, you should donate all your possessions to them and renounce everything. Go to the forest and lead a hermit's life. Why indulge in war and bloodshed?" Yudhishthir replied, "O Sanjaya, do not speak to me thus without knowing whether or not I am following dharma. Every caste should strictly adhere to its own dharma. A man may resort to the dharma of another caste if his livelihood is threatened in his own caste. But if a man takes resource to the dharma of another caste, even when he can prosper in his own, then his conduct is thoroughly reprehensible. O Sanjaya, what you are asking me to do is to follow the Brahman's duty, when it is my duty to follow the Kshatriya dharma. Pursuing the dharma of Brahmans will indeed be adharma. I shall adhere to the dharma of my forefathers, even if given all the wealth of this world and the next. I would not like to have recourse to it by adharma. O Sanjaya, Krishna is learned and impartial. I shall follow whatever is his advice." Yudhishthira turned to Krishna. "What do you say, Krishna? Am I right in my interpretation of dharma?" Krishna said, "It is not possible for matters to be settled peacefully so long as the sons of the Dhritarashtra covet the entire kingdom. They wish to seize and keep the kingdom rightfully inherited by the Pandavas. Theft is despicable whether it has been committed openly or otherwise. O Sanjaya, tell me how the Kauravas are different from the thieves. Duryodhana wants to keep what is rightfully Yudhishthir's. Is it according to true dharma? Memories of how Draupadi was molested and disgraced and the harsh and bitter words spoken during the game of dice still rankle in the breasts of the Pandavas. I am willing to go personally to Hastinapur and reason with Duryodhana if I can persuade him to come to a peaceful understanding. I will have done a great thing, and I will also have saved the Kauravas from death. The Pandavas and their allies are prepared for war, if that is what Duryodhana wants. But that will be the end of the Kauravas. O Sanjaya, impress this upon Dhritarashtra and his sons on your return." The Yudhishthira said, "O Sanjaya, convey my regards to the Kauravas. Tell the wise Bhishma to do everything so that this calamity that stares them in their face is averted, so that all his grandsons may live in peace. Request Vidur to give the Kauravas proper and wise counsel. Tell Duryodhana that he cannot rule the whole kingdom without meeting the challenge of war with us. Tell him we desire peace, but he must give us each a province, Kushatala, Vrikastila, Makandi, Varanata, and the fifth of his choice. Otherwise, we will have no option but to fight." Sanjaya rose to leave. "I shall now bid you farewell. Forgive me if I got carried away by emotion and spoke words that caused you offense." Yudhishthira bade him farewell by saying, "Let brothers meet brothers and fathers meet sons," smilingly. "I wish the Kauravas and Pandavas will live in amity." Dismissed by the Pandavas, O monarch, Sanjaya set off for Hastinapur to convey Yudhishthira's message. And thus ends the 27th session of our rendering of Vaishnavan's recital of Vyasa's immortal Ityasa, the Mahabharata. Stay tuned for Mahabharata chapter 28, and it is called Duryodhana Refuses to Yield. Please subscribe to this channel like, share and comment in this video. Thank you and Namaste.